And it's very similar in November to what we hope to be playing like in March. And it's difficult for both teams to play yesterday afternoon and turn around and play today. I'm most pleased with the fact that although we did not shoot the basketball very well, we fought and defended and really grinded out a victory. And I feel like our veteran leadership was tremendous as we went down the stretch of regulation, in between regulation and overtime, and then into overtime. So very, very pleased to be able to come out with a victory.
So looking at the numbers, I mean, you shouldn't have won this game. They shot better than you. They rebounded a lot better than you guys, but you saw them manage to pull it out. How big were their 18 turnovers?
Well, that number is something that we really hope that we can get defensively. I mean, we tried to really put pressure on them in the half court, and they did a good job. They got a big lead because we didn't do a good enough job defensively. But I felt like in the second half we did a lot better job with our arm extension, with the way we moved our feet, with the way we talked to each other, and we were able to get our hands on balls. And when we made the run, I think we're down 9, 10, 11 points, something like that. We made a run. It was because they had a couple turnovers in that stretch, and that was a huge part of the game to get us back into it in the second half.
On the other side of the ball, you know, they had 18. You guys finished with 7, but you had 4 turnovers in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Is that right? Yeah.
What did you do differently? What did you see differently offensively?
Well, I think we're a team that handles the ball pretty well. And I didn't realize we had 4 of our 7 early. But we were, now that I think back, we started kind of cold, is the way I would describe it. You saw guys using the dribble and kind of losing the dribble, even if we didn't turn it over, passing it and bobbling the pass. We just started a little cold. But I think we're a good ball handling team. Florida Atlantic puts pressure on you. They have some guys that can really pressure the dribbler. And when we tried to use our screens, particularly early in the game, they jumped in front of us and made it tough for us to run our offense. But I think we're a good ball handling team, and we did that, you know, for the better part of 35, 40 minutes.
So with 13 minutes left in the half, you're down 12. Sebastian hits a huge 3.
Yeah.
How big was that? How big was that 3 as far as momentum goes? Because I think the crowd behind me erupted. He hadn't made a 3 in a long time.
That was huge. How many did we end up making? 5. How about that? We're a team that shoots the ball pretty well normally, and that was huge. I mean, you got Jack Isenbarger, who is a great shooter, maybe one of the best shooters in the country. And what I loved, this is getting away from your question, but what I loved is he missed one, and he had, in the same possession, we fought for an offensive rebound, we kicked it back to him, and he took the next one. Unfortunately, he missed that one. And that leads me to Sebastian's shot. It was like a weight was lifted off our shoulders. Like there's not a lid on the basket. That's a huge bucket because not only is it 3 points, it cuts into their lead, but it feels good. And the crowd kind of got into it at that point, and that made a difference. It was a Sunday afternoon. We started cold. Sunday afternoon feel to start the game in the arena, and late in the second half, the crowd was a factor, and that 3 helped.
How big were Kevin Blake's 11 minutes?
They were huge. Kevin's been out for 4 weeks, and we're trying to work him back into the rotation, and we lose Austin. And we wanted to get a wing defender that had some length because the kid Moody's really talented. And so we put Kevin in, and what was interesting is Kevin set the last 3 or 4 minutes of the regulation, and then we started him in overtime. Yeah, Tanner had 4 fouls. So he was ready when called upon, and he did a really, really good job.
So a minute after Austin gets hurt, he goes in for the layup over 2 guys, grabs a foul.
What a great play. What a tremendous play. He attacked aggressively with the dribble, and he really elevates. And it's like time stands still when he's in the air. And a great finish, and he got fouled. Did he make the free throw?
He made the free throw.
Yeah. Great play. Great minutes.
Can you get him dunking a game here?
I love it. I'd love it.
You touched, you know, a little bit on the turnovers that you guys were able to call, have FAU call. Defensively, you've always prided yourself. How does tonight's win go into the momentum for South Carolina?
Well, this is a defensive win. This is, we shot 33% for the game, and we were somehow able to come out with a victory. And the way we were able to, think about this, we held them to 23% in the second half, from the field, 0% from three, 36% for the game, and they turned it over 18 times. I mean, those are great numbers for our defense. Our defense carried us. There were mistakes defensively. Believe me, we will cut up the film and try to improve before Wednesday. But defense carried. This is a defensive win.
Talk about Lucas and being an MVP of the tournament.
Lucas, I don't remember his numbers from Butler and Ferrum, but I remember they weren't up to what we had hoped for him. And the coaching staff pulled him in and said, we believe in you. We're going to push you like we've never pushed you. And it doesn't mean we don't care about you, but we're going to really get behind you and push you. And he's answered the bell. He was aggressive. He was not mistake-free, but he had 4 more blocks tonight. Look at that, 5 offensive rebounds, 14 and 8. I thought he deserved the MVP, and he played like the MVP in this tournament. And I'm really happy with the weekend for him, and we're going to push him some more, see if we can get even better.
He was huge, especially in the second half. You guy came out, he hit 2 quick shots. Does that help your offense when you get a big guy like that involved?
Absolutely. We have firepower, and it sure didn't look like it today. But that's what I told our players throughout the game was at some point we'll start knocking these down. Keep looking for your shot. But we have Jack that can score, Sebastian, Tanner can score, Austin can score, Riley's taking the right shots. And then if you add Lucas to that mix, then we have an inside-out game, and it's much more balanced, and it's much more effective.
Late Jack, we started with his first 3, he had a couple misses, put that first one in, and then he started getting a groove, and he realized he's on. Does the team gravitate to a game player, and they saw Jack was doing it?
Sort of a hot hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's just maturity of our players. And we have everybody in our program has the confidence in Jack to shoot the ball. And when he made the first one, that was a good sign. And you're right, he got hot, and he felt very comfortable. I thought he got great looks before he made that one, first one. And like I said, I love his confidence. And shooters have to sleep in the streets. And he was sleeping in the streets and finally made a couple. We'll let him come back inside.
Did his confidence waver at all?
No.
I mean,
No. Not a bit.
Did you have to say anything to him?
I didn't say a word to him. No. He's a great shooter.
what about Austin?
He got hit in the head. His head hit the floor. I saw it. He hit it pretty good. I don't know how bad it is. I just talked to him, so it's not like he's out of it or anything like that. It's nothing severe. At least I don't think so. But I don't know how bad it is.
I saw Ryan didn't play at all.
Yeah, his knee was bothering him. He got hurt yesterday, and he tried to go. He was going to warm up. He did warm up some. Couldn't go.
I saw him walk off with the trainer.
Yeah.
For warm-ups.
I don't think it's, again, I hope it's nothing drastic, severe, but could go.
Gotcha.
Could go.
So going to South Carolina, how much does last year play in that account?
Well,
It was a different coach.
completely different coach, different system, different venue. I'm sure their players will remember it, and our players will remember it. Probably plays at least as a factor in some way, shape, or form. I just haven't thought much about it. We invested a lot of energy into this weekend, and what I've tried to do as a coach, and I think our coaching staff's done a good job, is really focus on this weekend. And that'll last for another hour. But I'm sorry, I just haven't thought much about it.
Fair enough.
Talk about your momentum now moving forward after a weekend of a couple wins.
Well, it's a great start for us, and to win a tournament. I mean, we celebrated in the locker room because we won a tournament championship. And that gives our players confidence. That is something our program hasn't done since, somebody just told me, since 1995. And it's a great honor to be affiliated with the Maui Invitational. It's a great honor to be a champion of the Maui Invitational. That gives us momentum. That gives our players confidence to win a game like this. And our players understand that, we'll be confident from it, but we got a long way to go.
Nail biter, huh?
My goodness. My goodness.
Reminded me a lot of Charleston here last year. Well, that was
When
a
they
lot
had the
more high
ball-
scoring, but
When Florida Atlantic had the ball with down one and the clock's ticking down. Wasn't that what it was? That's the same thing that happened in Charles. So. Is that it for me?
Good.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, getting old.
I could tell in the locker room. Oh, you best leave. I'll talk about that.
Job now.
Don't talk about that now.
Jack, what happened in regulation?
Shots weren't falling, but anytime stuff like that happens, we weren't making our shots. When that happens, you just got to fight on the defensive end, and especially looking to go inside to the post of this guy right here. So he played huge for us all weekend, and proud of the way we played.
Did something turn around before overtime and score 9 points in overtime?
No, just kept looking to be aggressive. That was the approach. Coach wanted all of us to just attack and really be aggressive tonight, and I think that's what we did, and it paid off.
Lucas, you guys had 18 offensive rebounds. Is that a number you're happy with?
I'm very happy with that. That's much better. I can take that
That's
one.
something we talked about this last week.
Yeah, it's been going on the past couple of days, so that's definitely a lot better, and that's where it needs to stay, and that's where I'd like it to stay. I'll be perfectly fine with that.
You guys feel you were the aggressor tonight?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I take that back. Starting out, no. We were kind of on our heels. And, as the game went on, shots started falling, motivation starts picking up. So, we came out swinging then. Once things started going our way, we came out fighting and, we were able to pull through.
Down 9 at halftime. What was said at halftime to you guys from Coach? What did Coach tell you guys?
If we come out fighting and we keep shooting, shots will fall, bolts will start striking, and so we'll win the game. I mean, we keep rebounding, keep being the aggressor, and we will win the game, and that's what we did.
What do you guys feel about the defense you guys played, creating 18 turnovers and then getting 15 points off those turnovers?
Good.
I think it was huge for us, and that's been a focus for us all week in practice is playing well on the defensive end, because you can always play hard defensively. Shots aren't always going to fall, but defense is something that can be consistent, and you can always work hard.
You guys are leading scorers today, and just talk about leadership and what it means to be to sort of step up and lead a team now. You guys got the season ahead of you after a tournament win.
It's just, with the way we are as a team, we have older guys. We are a veteran team now. We got 5 of us that are basically juniors now. Still got one more year, and he has put a lot of emphasis on us talking to the team and controlling the guys that are younger and coming into the team. And with only having 2 guys coming in and then having so many older guys in our class, it makes it a lot easier for us to, find rhythm and be able to actually lead the team, in the way we need to go. Just because, we have guys that have been there for the past 3 years.
I was just going to say, you guys have 4 of you been playing for 3 years together.
Mm-hmm.
And that plays a key part. As juniors, as leaders, did you guys get together any time in the game and say, this is our time, this is what we need to do?
Not us as individuals, but us as a team, yes. We got everybody in the huddle and say, this is our court, this is our game. We're not going to back out of it, and we're not going to quit swinging. We can't just, whenever we get down a few points, lie down and just take it. That's not going to happen. We knew we had to get some motivation in the team. The crowd wasn't really into it in the beginning. We weren't into it, so we had to create our own energy in the beginning. Then once we started creating our own energy, the crowd starts getting into it. So then we kind of build off. The crowd a lot of times. And being able to motivate the guys to keep playing was, a big part tonight.
With it being a rough start, were there any doubts throughout the game?
There's always a few. You always, think about, what if my shot doesn't fall? What if it doesn't, what if his shot doesn't fall? What if we keep missing shots? But, the only thing you can do is keep pushing through it. That's the only thing you can do.
7 minutes in the second half, they're up by 12, and Sebastian hits a 3. How huge was that three? And so the second one you guys had hit in the game.
I think it was big in terms of just changing the momentum toward our side. Getting that lead within and under 10 points is huge, and we knew that if we kept fighting and kept looking to attack and take good shots, that we could break them down and we could cut into that lead that they had. And that's what we did. We just kept fighting and, like you said, played well defensively and kept taking shots and kept looking to score.
Yeah, that shot was the spark of a 12-0 run that tied the game up. When Austin went out, Kevin Blake came in and got a big three-point play, and he started in the overtime. Talk about his 11 minutes, but some key minutes tonight.
Yeah.
He stepped up, definitely stepped in and took the place, and that's a great thing about our bench. We're deep, and we have guys that get hurt to go out. We got guys that can step in and take their place, and Kevin did that. He didn't back down at all. He came out. I thought he was going to throw it down on him, but
I was kind of hoping.
I was mad at him. I was mad at him because he didn't. I was literally cursing at him in the huddle. But but he stepped up tonight, and that meant a lot to the team and to the coaches too.
You guys got to get him to dunk in a game here. Because I was watching last year. I think it was either Sanford or Walker.
That was Sanford. Yeah.
Okay. I was watching. I was like, oh, real dunk. You can't even do it here.
He'll dunk for you guys.
He's
Don't worry.
slowly
Don't
but
worry.
surely
He's-
coming back. He's
Okay.
the knees kind of warming back up, and he's getting in there. So
Yeah, he's Air Canada.
And the
So
crowd behind me's chanting all day. I'm like, come on.
Y'all, you guys had a brief lead in the first half, basically halfway through the first half, 8 minutes to go. You didn't get the lead again until 2 minutes left in regulation. Did you guys feel it then? Did you guys know this is it? Here it comes?
we could feel, movement in the crowd, movement in us that, we're getting ready to come out of this. Think shots had started falling. We're hitting shot, maybe not every shot, but we're hitting, shot here, shot there. And, once you start hitting them, they're coming. And you know what's going to happen, and you just don't know when. And, luckily they just kept coming. And Jack's sitting here knocking down shot after shot. Obviously, I'm happy. I don't have to rebound at all. I just get to stand under the goal. And, it's hard to explain.
Kevin gave good minutes, but Riley came on too. Riley gave you guys not enough full charge, move it to the second half. And him being one of those leaders as a junior, being in 3 years, how important was it for him today to do that?
Well, not only a captain, he is one of the older guys, but he's also he's one of the motivational guys. He's one of the guys that don't mind sitting there screaming his head off, turning red, about to pass out on the floor in order to get somebody pumped up. And he does it every game. And him knocking down those threes is nothing but adding on to that and getting us even more and more pumped up. And even after my dunk, he was more excited about the dunk than anybody else in this crowd. It was crazy. I was waiting to see him pass out on the floor because he turned about this color.
Total team effort. I mean that's what it boils
Complete
down to.
team effort.
yeah.
Jack, talk about the feeling of winning a tournament. I mean, it's 2 games in 2 days, but winning a tournament.
It feels great, obviously, anytime to win a game, but especially a tournament like this, hosting it at Elon, is huge for this community and our fan base. And at the same time, it prepares us for the Southern Conference tournament because it's going to be the same exact setup. You're going to have to play a game, and then 24 hours later, play again. And so I think that's one reason Coach Matheny scheduled these games like he did, is to prepare us for the postseason. And this just shows that we can go out and we can perform back-to-back days, which is something we'll build on and we'll look back on in March.
Get a nice big necklace of rocks, too.
Yeah, that was
I'll take
a
another one
plus.
of these.
You guys talked about it being a team effort, but then Jack, you touched on it a little bit. Sort of Elon getting behind it, the crowd getting into it in the second half. Just the Maui invite. So what does it mean to see Elon sort of support this and do a good job putting it on? See the backing from the community.
It's huge, that's one of my favorite parts is when the fans go crazy and they go nuts. When we hit a big shot or Lucas has a big time dunk or something like that. And I think it's huge. I think the fan base is growing, definitely. We're starting to get more people coming to games, more people in the community talking about Elon basketball. And the fans that we've had who have been loyal have been great to us. So we're thankful for them, and we're grateful that they've been so supportive of us.
I mean, 3 straight wins. Next up, you gotta have South Carolina on Wednesday. Last year you beat them. And it's gonna be a different set, a different venue this time, but what's your take on that?
We're coming at them again. We're not backing down. It doesn't mean anything that, you know, they wear Carolina on their chest. You know, we're coming at them, you know, guns blazing.
Gotcha. You guys, a different coach as well, and so how do you take this positive, 3 wins in a row into a game like that? It's an SEC team, you're away, beat them last year, so there's kind of that maybe hanging over a little bit. But I guess just talk about taking this and into that game specifically.
The only thing we do is use this motivation to keep playing. You know, coming off 3 wins, you know, that's huge. You know, we're already pumped off of that, and then playing a team, you know, a SEC team that, you know, we played last year and we're able to win in our house. You know, it would be that much better if we go over there and beat them at their house. I mean, that would mean even more to us, and that's what we have to do. We have to take, you know, all this motivation, all this, you know, energy we got built up and take it over there.
Lucas, talk about winning the MVP.
I honestly didn't even hear him call my name. I had no clue what was going on.
It sounded like a guy pointing at you. Like,
I'm standing in the back, I was laughing back there with them, wasn't paying any attention at all, because there's 5 billion cameras around us, and but you know, it means a lot. It's definitely something, you know, I wasn't expecting it at all. I didn't even know there was one, but you know, it does mean a lot. And like I said, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without our team at all. The way all the other guys are playing, they just, you know, they helped me out, and I'll be able to help them out. But you know, for some reason they gave it to me.
Jack, you ever seen somebody block this many shots? The 7 yesterday was your career high, and today tied the previous career high.
No, you know, I'm so happy to have this guy on my team, and I'm proud of the way he played. You know, both yesterday and today. It was, and you know, yesterday I got in foul trouble, so I was on the bench watching, and just watching him block shots and be such a presence on the defensive end. It was fun to watch, and then he did it on the offensive end too. You know, around the bucket, he's better than anybody in our conference, and we're happy to have a guy like Lucas. And then being a veteran, he's also stepped up in leadership and teaching the younger guys how to play and how to practice hard and do things the right way.